Today I want to show you how using a piano sketch can help you nail the structure of your compositions so that they don't sound like a collection of loops on the one hand or a collection of unconnected ideas on the other hand. I was recently asked to write some music for a toddler's animation series. Here's what my piano sketch sounded like. Now let's listen to a basic orchestration of that same idea. When writing in a DAW like Cubase, I'm always tempted to orchestrate the music while writing it. It's so easy to write in a melody in a flute part, the harmony in the strings, etc., etc. And it's much more gratifying than just writing with the piano. But in my experience, if you hold off and write the whole piece just using the piano and then go on to orchestrate it, you can get a much better piece of music. Why is that? Well, here are 6 reasons I came up with. Number 1, creative flow. If you orchestrate while you're writing, it can take a whole while to flesh out one idea. And by the end of that time, you might be out of your creative zone and have a pretty difficult time getting back into that original mindset that you had. Writing the whole piece on the piano just keeps you in the flow the whole time. Number 2, flexibility. Imagine this. You had a great first idea with the piano, and then you're writing a second part. You listen to both of them together and feel that the second part doesn't fit that well with the first part. So you ditch that idea and write a new second part. Now, if you had already orchestrated that second part, you might hesitate a bit about just ditching all that work and instead try to just make some cosmetic changes, which can result in a weaker overall piece of music. Number 3, coherence. It's much easier to see the big picture when writing just with the piano because everything goes faster. So it'd be pretty easy for me to spot if I have too many different musical ideas in my piece, or the opposite, there is not enough development. When writing in the orchestra, you might lose sense of the bigger picture because you get bogged down with all the little details. Number 4, it's very easy to focus on the core elements of music, harmony, melody, and rhythm when you're just using the piano. Again, writing with the whole orchestra can cause us to lose sight of these main elements, which can result with a lack of clarity. Number 5, harmony-melody relationship. You can easily make sure your melody and harmony are aligned and fit together when you are just writing with a piano. Multiple tracks of multiple instruments can cause confusion and make this much harder. Number 6, when it's time to orchestrate, you can copy and paste the ideas from the piano sketch into different instruments and you can get a great basic orchestration done in no time. Okay, so now that we understand why, let's talk about how to do it. There are basically 3 stages. First stage, load up a track with a piano sound that you like and start writing music. Stage 2, every once in a while, stop and check that the current part you're writing fits well with whatever came before and that the whole piece stays coherent without too many changes and without too little development. Stage 3, once the sketch is done, you go on and orchestrate it. Now, one important thing to remember is that this is a sketch and you by no means have to stick with it 100% when orchestrating. Let's go back to my toddler's animation example. I'll continue the sketch from where we left off. And a basic orchestration. Okay, and now this is what I had in my sketch. But what I ended up writing with the orchestra is something totally different. So I just used the piano sketch as a starting point from which I can iterate and change freely. The next part, I did use this same material when I orchestrated, but because the previous part was different from the original piano sketch, I had to make a key change. So I had the same music in a different key. Instead of I have different key. Now, you may have noticed that I have 2 tracks for the piano sketch. That gave me a lot more freedom in creating parts that I couldn't play. I'm not a pianist, and even as a pianist, you got only 2 hands. So I could just sort of jot down different ideas on a second piano track. For instance, this trill became a string trill in the other key, obviously. And here's a practical tip. You can use this handy little Cubase feature. Right here, this little slash button called Divide Track List creates this division here between the top and the bottom parts of the DAW and allows me to sort of pin tracks to the top. So I've got a marker track here, which is very important when writing to picture, a signature track. I also have some signature changes here because I had to have the music sync up with certain parts in the video. You could add a chord track here, which I also usually do. Have a video track, anything that you want in clear view, even when you've got a big orchestral session with lots and lots of tracks. So to sum up, using a piano sketch can help you create higher quality music, more coherent, and keep you from getting stuck while composing. I strongly encourage you to try it in your next composition. If you do, please let me know in the comments how that went. Have you been using this technique all along? Do you have any other tips on how to use a piano sketch or any other relevant tips for a great track structure or how not to get stuck when writing? Leave them down in the comments so we can all learn from each other. Okay, so that's it for today. If you haven't yet, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.